My son was lying in a hospital bed with tubes coming out of his nose. The doctor looked at me. He said we had 48 hours to pay for the surgery, or he wouldn't make it. The cost was $85,000. It was a lot, but I knew my parents had it. I had been funding their retirement account for 5 years. I had practically bought their house. So I called my mother. I was crying. I begged her. I said, "Mom, Leo needs this surgery. Please, I just need to borrow from the fund." Do you know what she said? She didn't say, "Let me check." She didn't say, "Of course." She sighed and said, "We can't right now, honey. Money is tight." I believed her. I sold my car. I took a second mortgage. I saved my son's life by ruining my own credit. But 3 days later, I saw the photos on Facebook. My sister's wedding venue. The flowers alone cost $40,000. That was half of my son's life, spent on roses that would die in a day. That was the moment I realized I didn't have parents. I had leeches. And it was time to bring out the salt.
Let me give you some context. I'm the eldest son, the responsible one. My sister, Jessica, she's the golden child, the princess. She has never worked a day in her life. My parents have always bailed her out. 5 years ago, my dad made a bad investment and lost nearly everything. I stepped up. I started a tech company that did well. I agreed to send them $5,000 every single month for their retirement fund so they could keep their lifestyle. I paid off their mortgage. I was the good son. When Jessica announced she was getting married to a guy she met 2 months ago, my parents went crazy. They wanted the wedding of the century. I told them to be careful with money. They told me to stop being jealous.
Fast forward to the week of the surgery. My son, Leo, has a rare heart condition. It happened suddenly. The insurance covered 80%, but we needed $85,000 up front for the specialist team. I was liquidating assets, but it takes time. I needed cash now. When my mom said money is tight, I thought she meant they were struggling. I felt guilty for even asking. But then I went to my parents' house to pick up some old clothes for Leo. They weren't home. They were at a tasting for the wedding menu. I saw a binder on the kitchen table labeled Jessica's Big Day. Curiosity got the best of me. I opened it. I felt like I was going to vomit. Receipt for dress, $12,000. Receipt for venue, $45,000. Catering for 300 guests, $60,000. Live band from New York, $25,000. I pulled out my calculator. The total, $230,000. They had spent nearly $250,000 in the last 3 weeks. The same week they told me money was tight and let my son sit in that hospital bed. They wrote a check for a $5,000 ice sculpture. An ice sculpture. They chose frozen water over my son's blood.
I didn't scream. I didn't burn the house down. I took photos of every single receipt. Then I drove to the bank. I called my mother. She answered, sounding annoyed. She said, "What is it? We are deciding between the lobster and the steak." I said, "Mom, I found the money for Leo's surgery." She sounded relieved. "Oh, wonderful. See, we told you things would work out. You didn't need our help." I said, "Yeah, I also found the receipt for the ice sculpture." There was dead silence on the line. I continued, "You spent $230,000 on a party while your grandson was fighting for his life. You lied to me." She started stuttering. "You don't understand. It's her special day. We couldn't cancel the deposits." "Special day?" I laughed. It was a cold, empty laugh. Well, I hope she enjoys it, because I just canceled the standing order. "What standing order?" she asked, her voice trembling. "The $5,000 a month, the mortgage payments, the retirement fund. It's all gone. I just closed the account."
She started screaming. "You can't do that! We have bills! The wedding is in 2 days. The final payments are due." I said, "Money is tight, Mom. You should try getting a loan, or maybe return the ice sculpture." I hung up and blocked her number. I blocked my dad. I blocked Jessica. Here is the best part. Since the house was technically in my name because I paid for it, I served them an eviction notice the next morning. I gave them 30 days. The wedding? It was a disaster. Since the final payments for the venue and catering bounced, the vendors walked out. Jessica had to get married in a public park with pizza from Domino's. She cried the whole time, not tears of joy, tears of humiliation.
My son had his surgery. It was tight, but we made it. He's sitting next to me right now, playing video games. He's alive. That's all that matters. My parents, they are living in a small rented apartment now. They call me from different numbers, begging for forgiveness. They say family should help family. And I agree, family should help family. That's why I helped my son, and that's why I cut them off. Because real family doesn't choose a wedding party over a child's life. If you think I went too far, let me know in the comments. But honestly, I sleep like a baby.